Welcome back, everyone, for a very exciting Cobra Kai Season 4 watch party. Thomas Ian Griffith, Terry Silver himself, has given his first interview in the lead-up to Season 4. He gave a phone interview with Peter and Brianna from Cobra Kai Companion, and I highly recommend you check that out. There's some great tidbits and behind-the-scenes stories from Karate Kid 3. It's available on their YouTube channel as well as all major podcasting platforms. For now, we're going to focus on one key part, one sentence really, that has some big implications for Season 4. It began with a discussion on Terry Silver's backstory. You remember that Silver was surprisingly the weak man in Vietnam. His nickname was Twig. He may have been a specialist, but it certainly wasn't in strength or fighting. What does that mean for the Terry Silver we know from Karate Kid 3, and the one that is coming in Season 4? Well, they ask directly about how Terry's backstory explains why he was the way he was. Listen to his response.
Explains why he was the way he was. I think
all I can say is just wait till Season 4 because they really go for it.
Just to be clear, listen to it again.
Explains why he was the way he was. I think
all I can say is just wait till Season 4 because they really go for it.
So when asked about Terry Silver's backstory specifically in the context of how it's been laid out, he says in Season 4 they really go for it. Without overtly giving any spoilers, there's a lot we can decipher from that. It starts with the whole misdirection, except it's more than that. This guy acts like Terry Silver. Hell, this guy basically is Terry Silver as we know him in Karate Kid 3. Except he's not. He got killed. It's the weak, timid man who was Terry Silver. It's obvious during the interim years this guy takes on the characteristics of this guy. This is who he becomes. Since we now know they really go for it, we can expect this to be a significant part of Season 4. You can now expect Season 4 to really dive into the transformation from this to this. Some of this will be done in flashbacks, but I think the key is it's not all flashbacks. Some of this may be present-day scenes between Kreese and Silver. Can we really find the reasoning and thinking behind their actions? It's certainly messed up. These people clearly have issues that molded their personalities, Terry Silver especially, and if they really go for it, we can theorize it may be a sympathetic or sad backstory. Over a year ago, at the beginning of the COVID lockdowns, there was a Karate Kid watch-along hosted by some fans. During the movie, Hayden Schlossberg came in and made some comments. At the Miyagi drunk scene where Daniel learns about his past, Hayden said Mr. Miyagi has the second most tragic backstory in the Miyagi-verse. At the time, we all thought this was a reference to Kreese. What are we going to learn about Kreese in Season 3 that would be more tragic than Mr. Miyagi losing his wife and son while at war? Well, Season 3 came and Kreese's backstory seemed to fall short, at least in terms of Hayden's statement. Losing Betsy is sad and he wanted to be a hero, but we can't quite say it's more tragic than Mr. Miyagi's story. Maybe more messed up with the fighting over the snakes and all, but not more tragic. If we assume Hayden's statement wasn't about Kreese, but actually about Terry Silver, the pieces start fitting together. Really go for it means they aren't holding back. We're likely to see a fragile or emotionally destroyed man who can't get over what happened to his friend and fellow soldier. So Terry sticks to Kreese. He idolizes Kreese in his training, which changes his life around. He adopts Ponytail's personality, and slowly the Terry Silver from here ceases to exist. What emerges is a Terry Silver who is a hybrid of Kreese's influence in Vietnam War PTSD. Now this is all backstory. What does it mean for the context and plot of Season 4? Well, Thomas Ian Griffith said a little bit more.
And like I said, I think you may still hate him, but there's definitely something you're going to want to watch with him.
So yes, you may still hate him. That is an important key line. We can immediately deduce from the fact, yes, just like Sherlock, we can immediately deduce that at least some viewers may still hate him. That means Terry Silver is not getting a full redemption arc. If this were a full, unambiguous redemption arc, he would say something different like, just wait and watch. Instead, he said you may still hate him. The unsaid words there are, you may still hate him, but you'll understand him? Again, the implication is about Silver's backstory. You will understand Silver and you will understand why he was this maniacal, over-the-top cartoon-like villain, laughing even as he gets his butt kicked. I suppose there could be some gray area. Maybe some people will come to understand him and feel he's been redeemed. Not everyone though. I'm not sure what to make of it myself. Terry Silver is not someone I have a great love for the way some people do, but for that matter, prior to this show, I never had any love or interest in any of the Cobra Kai characters, including Johnny. What lured me in at season 1 is how the show told the story from Johnny's point of view, and who you thought was the bad guy actually kind of makes sense when you see it from his perspective. My assumption and hope as the show plays out is we would see more of that with all the relevant characters. As the show has progressed, however, it has been more wishy-washy with that theme, especially as season 3 moved away from the idea entirely. So does Terry Silver become the cartoony, over-the-top villain with a now more fleshed out backstory? Or is he treated like Johnny in season 1? You see everything from his perspective and end up rooting for him. That's the real key there. Will you end up rooting for Terry Silver the way you rooted for Johnny? My prediction is no, you will not. First off, Terry's story is different. While there may be villains from his point of view, none of those people are characters in this show. There's no way to spin Daniel or Mr. Miyagi as legitimate bad guys for him in the story. That means you probably won't end up rooting for him and there's no redemption. You'll just get to understand him. A good example is the way Tori was treated in season 3. We got a deeper look into her home life. Her mother is slowly dying right in front of her. But other than seeing a broader picture of her, the show didn't change the way she's presented. In fact, she had even less character motivation for her big fights this time around. You can expect season 4 Terry Silver to be treated in a similar fashion as season 3 Tori. You'll see a broader look at who he is while sticking to this is the unambiguous bad guy trope, though he will have a larger, more significant role than Tori did. At the end of the interview, he said,
"Well, all I can say is I think you're going to be along for the ride on season 4. And I think a lot of your questions will be answered. And I think it's an exciting journey, not just for Terry Silver, but overall. It's an epic season. I'm so proud of it."
So again, your questions will be answered. The obvious questions being, how did Terry Silver become who he is? How was Dynatalk started? What makes Watch Party's videos better than everyone else's? That's a lot to look forward to. After you subscribe, click that card to see Thomas Ian Griffith's full interview. Otherwise, the best season 4 theory is in that video on Terry Silver's Quicksilver method. Be sure to check that out. I also have a good one on how Terry helps out Tori. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next Watch Party.